Hello and welcome back to the channel. As promised, today another new game for our Batrep, and today we play on sea for the Black Sea from the Warlord game. This is the first Batrep that I'm going to film for you, and I decided to a casual scenario, one of the first on the book, and is a chance encounter, and then come back on the scenery in a moment. Let me say that I play few game of this game, and every time I discover that it's not so easy as it look at first. You have to master the wind for get the most from your ships. This is the very basic starter set, the Master and Commander, and is a very good one. The mat, I bought the mat, the new one, because it's better than the card one, but the rest of the set is great, especially the ships, which are so full of detail. You cannot see the rig because it's a nightmare to make the rig, and I decided that okay, I give up on them and I play without the rig. The very specialist of naval war game certainly have a better chance than me to make their ships great, but this is good enough for me for the play. So now essentially these two fleets fought one each other in a casual encounter, and in this treat of sea full of rocks, sandbank and an island to complicate the navigation. Aim is pretty simple. Each damage is 1 point, 5 points for every captured ships, and 5 points if the frigate draw below the half. This is the frigate, and 10 points if the frigate was sunk or captured. On that side, the British with 1 or 5th rate brigade and 3 brigs, and on this side the French with their frigate and 3 brigs spread across the deployment zone. I will show you the game during each turn, but some essential tips for who do not know exactly how the game it work. Movement is determined by the wind, and in this game you have to roll before to start, and I roll for the east, so the wind blow in this direction. Ships are activated when they get the wind, so the first one will be this, and proceeding alternate eventually between ships and ships to determine who is activated first. And every time you have to roll the wind to see if change or not its direction. There is only 3 real result. The double one, which drop the wind and your ships drastically reduce your speed. The double 6, which means a gust of wind that make you move more, and the result that change the wind of a quarter, so it move a step clockwise or anti-clockwise. Then you move your rate of the ships are stated here, how many inch per move, how many point when you start to roll, if you surrender or not is a skill check, 5+ for regular troops. Guns, how many guns you have, the steering wheel that you can use this one to rotate the red one, the yellow one, this have a less angle of rotation. The larger ships rotate and maneuver are less agile than the small one. You have a table of the wind, which is essentially this one, and depending on the wind you can reach 3 different levels of sail, essentially 3 different speed value. You can move at light sail, 1 move, battle sail, 2 move, full sail, 3 move. You can rotate after any of this move and shoot at the end of any of this move. If you shoot with one your bank, you cannot shoot again for that turn. You can shoot with 2 or 3 or more. It's not the case of these ships, but you get malus on this. You can get opportunity shoot if you move your flank inside. You can shoot with the malus essentially, and the same can do the enemy if you cross its flank, its broadside. It can shoot with malus to you if it's not yet activated. To it as a simple 5+, and you get bonus or malus depending on the distance, the smoke, the size of the ships, etc. You can board the enemy. If you get within 3 inches with a skill check, you can grapple the enemy ships and start to fight. You roll a number of dice. Every 10 points grant you a dice, and again, you can, who win the fight can conquer the enemy ships or simply destroy, kill the entire crew and essentially make the unit useless. And in this game particularly, you can capture the enemy ship if you win successfully a round of boarding action. Let me say just before the start, the British are very powerful in vanilla games, because French get nice bonuses, but you have to vote for their ships, while British and American too, but British especially have a wonderful huge bonus for free. They have a +1 to hit when they shoot, always, and this is huge. And they also have one reroll, skill check reroll for every ship per game, which is also used. The French have just a -1 rather than -2 when they decided to shoot height with their gun. If they shoot height, you can try to destroy the sail or the mast of the ship to get better damage. If you roll a 1, no matter what, if you roll a 1, you get a critical hit. A critical hit is a table which momentarily disabilitate one part of the ships for 1 turn or more, and the shooting height get better result on this table, but it's harder to hit. So that's it. Now proceeding with the first turn, and with this ship I am back at the end of the turn for a quick recap of the events. That's it, the first turn is over. These 2 French brig get the right wind and the right quarter, so they can go full sail, and one move into the channel between this rocks, sand and the highland, and the other flank, the sandbank, pointing towards the British, and this one receive a broadside from the frigate, taking 2 damage on this. The other one was on the bad side of the wind, so they only can get light sail, so maneuver slowly forward and then change to get better wind the next turn. On that side, the British has moved part of his fleet on this side, taking the good wind, and these 2 brigs sail on battle sail, but now is against the wind, so they will downgrade their speed to face the 2 brigs that move in to intercept the frigate. And that's it, with a very quick turn, just maneuver. One of the first 9 turn is gone, and now proceeding into the second one. And the second turn was far much interesting than the previous one, but the battle rage on. This brig here tried to shoot and move far away, but it have to divert their route to avoid to collide with the highland, so take a wrong direction in the end. This one here has moved forward and shoot at the frigate, causing damage. This brig here did the same, causing 2 damage to this brig here. The British frigate move forward and shoot at this brig and cause a critical, which set fire on it. Then the French cause damage because this brig here enter close to the frigate and put a critical plus another shot and then the frigate did the same, causing another critical and reduced severely the British frigate to 24 point from the start in 36, and then it successfully grape the brig, and now we're proceeding to fight this grappling action. So the French will take the 3 blue dice, because you get a D10 for every 10 points and are rounded up, and the French brigade is still 36, and the British brig did the same. It was damaged, but 18 all point mean 2 dice only. Now the boarding get +1 on it and it, so they hit on a 5 plus, but the French get +1 because they are the unit that start the assault. So the French hit on a 4, and the red, the Brits, hit on a 5. And so the French completely miss, so the crew evidently is not so keen on fight on the deck, while the British strike once, so 1 damage to the French frigate, and the 2 ships remain grappled, and fight continue in the next turn if nothing else happen. And that's it. They won the game, but they have enough point to avoid the capturing of the ships. And now moving into the turn 3 and see if the wind will change and proceed. It's becoming very complicated now. When they activate, you can try to did nothing and set down the fire, set off the fire, and they have to roll a skill check with a +2. If they continue and cannot manage to roll the 5+ of the skill check, the ships take more damage, and plus this, if they roll the 1, the fire catch the powder and the ships explode in a spectacular explosion, which causes damage to the closest ship. We will see back at the end of the next turn. And while this brig slowly tried to return into battle, the French brig crossed the flank of the British, and both fire. This fire for opportunity, this fire as she pass on, both inflict 1 critical to each other. The quarterdeck was hit on a British brig, and the extra damage for the French, which now proceed its rest of the move. This brig not only managed with a 6 to successfully set off the fire, but maneuver and get the better position on his life to take the better chance to hit. He get a -2 because he's shooting while moving, but as she pass, but he's get +1 because he's within 3 inches. So in the end is only a -1 to hit, and he can triple the damage. So let me show you directly. They need a 4+. Oh my goodness, take a critical plus a 4+, so a double hit with triple the damage. The frigate was shattered by the closing fire of this brig, which is a hero. At the moment it takes 7 damage. He's reduced at the moment at 11 point, but the strike takes the hit of his life. I calculate the damage in a second. See what is happened here. The result is that the frigate is reduced to 12 and 12 point left, so it must immediately take a skill check to do not strike the color, and plus it's set on fire on the critical. So we'll see on a 5+. Okay, is still operative. Their nerve hold at least for this turn, but it was a blow for the Brits. Their main ships is really damaged, and now the wind move of that frigate will have immediately tested to set the fire off, and due to the situation they decided to move straight away, take the bonuses, and do not anything else. So on a 3+, they set the fire off. Ooh, this means that the ships will explode, but due they are Brits, they can reroll a skill check. They have not already reroll, so they reroll the skill check. Okay, the fire is quieted out, set off, and now they cannot shoot and must proceed without changing level of sail or direction. So they will move 10 inches in total, and that's it for their turn. Now we are proceeding here. The British that has won the previous fort is the first to be activated. They can try to sail away to unwrap their ships. So if they manage to roll a successfully skill check, they can extricate themselves. But they cannot, so they have to fight. And again, 3 against 2. We'll see if the French resolve the fight or demonstrate themselves poorly on the deck. Oh yes, this time it's 4 to hit, so 2 damage for the French and nothing for the Brits. And double check, but I think that the fight may continue because no ships has reduced to their breaking point, and now proceeding to the next turn. The turn is almost over. The British breaks down there, slowly take the wheel, and now maybe come back for the final turn. On this side, this brig here suffer a critical hit from the brig down there, which shoot passing across his broadside. There's maneuver here, but unfortunately this brig here, which strike is critical hit on the bow of this British frigate. I failed to say that its way is directly against the rock, and they fail its skill check to avoid the rock, and so it sunk because it takes 16 damage, crushing their hull into the rocks and suffer a damage enough to sink it. So the French is down of 1 ship, and I'm moving to this fight again because it's still engaged the 2 ships, and again the French this time start first, and it strike once, and once strike the Brits, so 1 damage each. And now here they need an immediate skill check, and they fail, so they surrender, they strike the color. So the British frigate move to light sail and move here, and then became anchored. So it's out of the game. At least they will reach, 1 French ship reach it and capture it. And that's it, moving into the 5th turn of the game. Also, the second brig has successfully moved, maneuver, and grapple with a skill check at the frigate, and now we are proceeding. So it has 2 dice, but the total number of their hull point are at the moment, let me double check, the total point are 34 for a 33 for the 34 for the French. So it's a strange case because both are the same hull point. So there is only the bonus for the grappling. As I understand, I have to resolve both the fight altogether now because it's a single grapple attack activated by this one. If I made this mistake, please correct me in the comment below. So the British will strike with a +1 because they are the active and assaulting, so they get nothing. Then the French will reply to them, striking a critical and another 1, and then the other British on the other side will roll and a critical on the frigate, and again against them another hit on the other British brig. This is how I understand. If I made a mistake, please correct me because I want to properly play, but on the rule it's stated that proceed with the rule above for the multiple grapple. So this is how I understand. Anyway, I proceeded to put the mage now and proceed with the rest of the turn. And that's the end of the turn. The French frigate don't want to be grappled many times, but too many enemies all around them, so he successfully evade from the grapple and move away, and the last British brigs may activate and move forward. And this led us to the 6th turn, straightforward. That's the situation. I roll a double 1, a snake eye, so every ship's move this turn 2 steps less than their actual speed. So because every ship's on the board is with light sail or battle sail, essentially no one move, no wind on the sea for an entire turn. So I see if someone can shoot to each other, probably these 2 brig can exchange it, and then proceeding directly to the 7th turn. On board the ship's fire, the British hit twice on the French. The French hit once, but it was a critical hit. It strike the crew of the ships, so every single skill check is automatically failed for these ships in the 7th turn, which are going to start with another roll of the wind. This time the contrary, the opposite. So this time every ship move 1 wind rate more than their actual one. So we'll back in a sec. So not only this brig here successfully shoot in the back, causing a triple damage on this brig, but the frigate move 2 movement thanks to the wind and managed to grapple the brig. So this brig here has at the moment 14 point. The French are still over the 20, so 3 dice against 2, and we'll see what is happening with this boarding very aggressive French. Ooh, a critical and another hit against 1 hit, so 3 damage against this one, means it goes directly to 11, and 1 for the British frigate that I proceed to move in a second. Now, very interesting, because this brig here has to move. It has to move and cannot change its direction. It has to move 1 because it's light sail. It start let's say so 2 move essentially, and it can not change direction and automatically fail its skill check. So essentially it crash into its partner brig, taking 6 damage or 8. Let me double check. It's 8 damage from both ship and from the same side. This means that this one will go to 6 and drop this, and the other one 1 plus 5 goes to 5, and immediately have to take a roll, a skill check, which automatically which automatically fails. So this one is tricolor and is there, and that's it. And now this brig here, this French brig here, has the wind. It can move twice, so 3 times thanks to the wind. The first move bring this brig here. The second move is broadside against the braids, and both fire, 1 for to pass by, the other one for opportunity, -2 to hit on both of them. So the French hit 2 hull point to this brig here, and then its finish is second movement here, and then its third movement back in the sack. And too many things happen. This should here the successfully hit here bring this brig behind is a threshold of testing. So a skill check for him. It's failed. He never reroll, so he can try to reroll. So he passed. He stay in the game. The French are here at the end of the movement and can try to grapple this one and capture it. But it's failed to capture it. Let me only double check if they have to roll or is automatic for the mission, that I cannot remember properly. Okay, he failed to grapple. He had to start aboard an action, so they cannot grapple the British frigate, and essentially that's it. So the 8th turn start with British brig grapple to a frigate with still a 31 point. One British brig which is surrendered, the other one that I have to test, and the frigate is out of action. The probability for the Brits to exit this game as a winner is very, very few, and this is because I say they are overpowered, they are too strong, and so they are severely beaten by the dice. Anyway, starting the 8th turn. So down there the French inflict one hit on the British brig, and the British brig return one hit on the British frigate, but then on its activation he successfully ungrappled themselves and move away. The French brig move, maneuver and shoot, but miss completely, and now again another test here, and they strike their color, so it's gone. At the moment we have one frigate pretty safe, two French brigs damaged but not destroyed, and just one single brig damaged. So the 9th turn will be very, very, very quick. This ship here is the last one to be activated. It reduces it to light sail and make a single move, and then start the 9th and the last turn. So with the last two really important movement of the game, the last broadside from the French brig inflicted in uneventful critical, because it doesn't matter what it's happened to the British brigs, it cannot be destroyed. That's it for the game. The games end with a victory for the French 82 to 58, and just to say that I'm wrong, the British are so strong, so overpowered, but this time the French dice are, or they hit very, very hard, and probably made a mistake with the last British brig, which to try to intercept the incoming British completely fail its maneuver and stay 2-3 turn out of the game. But the game-changing moment is when this British frigate receive a critical hit in their bow plus another hit, so a total of 6 damage plus a critical, which was pretty devastating. And that's it for the first Batrep of Black Seas. As I said, it's a very fun game, a pretty quick one. It's interesting because it's far than be easy. It's simple but not simplistic at all, and it's a very satisfying one to occupy a couple of hours in an evening as today, or in an afternoon with a friend. So that's it. I hope that this new game caught your interest, and anyway, I'm back soon enough with Napoleonic. Thank you for watching, and bye bye.